The story begins in the year 10,191. We are introduced to the planet Arrakis, a desolate desert world that is the most important place in the universe. Why? Because of the spice melange. Chani, a young woman of the native Fremen people, explains through narration that her people have been oppressed for 80 years by the brutal House Harkonnen, who mine the spice for the Emperor. The Harkonnens are suddenly ordered to leave by the Padishah Emperor. As they depart, Chani wonders who their next oppressors will be. We then shift to the lush, water-rich planet of Caladan, home of House Atreides. We meet Paul Atreides, the young heir to the Duke, who is having vivid dreams about Chani and a future on Arrakis. His mother, Lady Jessica, a member of the mysterious Bene Gesserit sisterhood, watches him closely, sensing he is more than just a royal heir. Duke Leto Atreides receives an official visit from the Emperor's herald. He is granted stewardship of Arrakis. Leto knows this is a fateful gift. The Emperor wants to stir up a war between Atreides and Harkonnen to weaken both. Despite the danger, Leto accepts, hoping to build an alliance with the Fremen. Before they leave, the Reverend Mother Mohiam arrives. She subjects Paul to the Gom Jabbar test, a test of human instinct versus animal impulse. Paul must keep his hand in a box that induces excruciating pain. If he removes it, he dies. Paul survives, proving he has incredible mental discipline. The Reverend Mother warns Jessica that Paul might be the Kwisatz Haderach, a messianic figure the sisterhood has been trying to breed for centuries. House Atreides lands on Arrakis. The heat is stifling, and the atmosphere is tense. We see the massive scale of their ships and the highliners used for space travel. Upon arrival, Paul is nearly assassinated by a hunter-seeker, a tiny remote-controlled needle hidden in the walls of his room. He manages to stay perfectly still and disable it, realizing that the Harkonnens have left traps everywhere. Duke Leto meets with his council, the Master of Arms Gurney Halleck, the mental human computer Thufir Hawat, and the Swordmaster Duncan Idaho. Duncan has already spent time with the Fremen and reports that they are a formidable force numbering in the millions, far more than the Imperial scouts estimated. Spice Harvester and the Great Worm. To understand the spice trade, Leto, Paul, and Gurney take a flight to a spice harvesting site. They meet Dr. Liet Kynes, the Imperial planetologist. During the inspection, they see a sandworm approaching, a behemoth hundreds of meters long. Harvesters carryall, the ship meant to lift it to safety, fails. A display of leadership. Leto orders his own ships to land and rescue the workers, abandoning the expensive spice. As the worm swallows the harvester whole, Paul is exposed to a cloud of spice. He experiences a powerful vision of a holy war spreading across the universe in his name. He is nearly overcome but is pulled to safety by Gurney. Night of betrayal. The tension reaches a breaking point. Dr. Yu, the trusted Atreides physician, is revealed to be a traitor. Harkonnens have kidnapped his wife, forcing him to disable the palace shields. As the shields drop, a massive joint force of Harkonnen troops and the Emperor's elite, Sardaukar, terror troops launch a night assault. The city of Arrakis is engulfed in flames. Leto is paralyzed by Yu, who implants a poison gas tooth in his mouth, hoping Leto can use it to kill Baron Harkonnen. Meanwhile, Paul and Jessica are captured. They are taken into the desert on an ornithopter to be dumped and left for the elements. Escape into the deep desert. Inside the aircraft, Paul uses the voice, a Bene Gesserit vocal technique, to command his captors to free his mother. Jessica then uses the voice to make the guards fight each other. Crash land in the dunes. They find a survival kit left by Yu and manage to hide in a rock crevice just as a massive sandstorm hits. Hiding, Paul feels the awakening of his prescient mind. He realizes his father is dead and that he is now the Duke. Breaks down, not just for his loss, but because he can see the golden path, a future of blood and conquest that he desperately wants to avoid. The Fremen. The pair trek across the open desert, learning to use stillsuits to reclaim their body's moisture. They are hunted by a giant sandworm and barely escape by reaching a rocky outcrop. Here they are surrounded by a group of Fremen led by Stilgar. Them is Chani, the girl from Paul's dreams. Stilgar is hesitant to take them in, but one Freeman, Jameis, challenges Paul to a duel too. Refusing to believe a weakling from the stars could be their messiah. Forward, Paul reluctantly enters the duel, despite never having killed anyone. His training under Gurney and Duncan allows him to defeat Jameis. By winning, he is accepted into the tribe. Jessica realizes that the Missionaria Protectiva, and spread by the Bene Gesserit years ago, has worked. The Fremen believe Paul is the Lisan al-Gaib from the outer world. As the sun rises over the dunes, Paul sees a Freeman riding a sandworm in the distance. He realizes that the desert isn't a place of death, but a place of incredible power. He tells his mother that his father's dream of desert power is possible. And their long journey into the deep desert to join the Fremen siege.